bow tie, right? Okay. Throughout life, we've heard people say that our criminal justice system is broken, but our criminal justice system is not broken. It was designed the way it is. The criminal justice system has become a system of poison lakes where poor, Black, indigent defendants without adequate representation will drown. 1 out of 3 Black men in the United States can expect to spend some time in jail. Good evening. I'm Al Scott. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. That is just one of the stories we're going to cover tonight. Hello, everybody. Love you guys. I'm back. Ms. Holmes. Good evening, Mr. Scott. Good evening, Ms. Holmes. John 67. I see you. I see the boss, Miss Jade. I see you. Crazy Pete. Where else would Crazy Pete be but right here with me? Every night, she's right here. Love you big time. Thanks for your genuine love and support. I see you, Love Natural, I think from Denver, Colorado. Pamela is saying good evening as well. Good evening, Pamela. Thank you for tuning in. Daryl, good evening to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. Dottie Williams, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Donnie, good evening to you. Okay, who's that from Houston? Katrina, good evening. She's from Houston, Texas. I still got some fans in Houston, Texas. My. Won't he do it? Chelsea, I love you too. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. Miss Page, I see you from North Carolina. Thanks for being here this evening. Lovely Shauna, I think that's it. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Someone else from Houston is in the house. Powers, A. Powers, thank you for being in the house as well. A. Powers says, Houston is here, a fan for sure. Love you big time. Thanks for your genuine support. Osborne is in from South Carolina this evening. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Dottie Williams, okay. All right, okay. Yolanda Martinez is in. Okay. Janice is in from Greenville, Texas. Good evening. Tina Harlan is in from Tennessee. She's here on time every night. Thank you for your genuine support. I love you guys big time. Without you, we have no show. So I thank you all for your continued support. And we're working on doing some more things to make the show bigger and better and more informative to you all. So thanks for hanging on with all the crap that's going on right now with me. You guys are still here, and I love you big time. We didn't want to give the people's names because I didn't want them to receive a backlash because of me. And to God be the glory. we received so many inboxes, text messages, and emails showing their genuine love for the show. And I gratefully appreciate you all for that. I had to look up towards the hills from which cometh my help. And thank God, because he does it. He does it all. So what we did, we just started sharing some of the things that people were writing in about the show. So we didn't add their names because I don't want them to be called out or you messing with them on Facebook just because you super stupid. You can't get mad at somebody. They like that person and you don't like them. So all of you know who you are, who have sent your messages in, and we've shared them on Facebook. We shared them on Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Love you guys. Listen, we got a full show for tonight. Of course, we're talking about R.Kelly. We're talking about our criminal justice system. And one thing I want to say quickly about the criminal justice system. We cannot, a system that has never been for us cannot be failing us. So let's just get that understood. A system that has never been for us cannot be failing us. When the words were written, we the people, blacks were not considered people. Contrary to belief, some people don't consider us people now. 3/5 of a human. So when they said we the people, they didn't have a damn thing to do with us. And so we are getting ready to do a series on the system and blacks. Most of what we're going to share with you all, you already know. You've heard it from Al Sharpton, other civil rights activists, Malcolm X. You've heard it from the NAACP, the Innocent Project. So it's not a lot new that we can tell you. But what we're going to do, we're going to try to get our focus in another area. Simply put, we need a new approach to the injustices that blacks are receiving in this country. What worked back then don't work so well now. Holding up signs saying no justice, no peace. White folks laugh at that shit, and I give them too. That don't mean a damn thing. And I'm not about to get out there and walk up and down the street and hold a sign. I'm just not gonna do it. You got to think of other avenues that we can take to try to correct some things in this country. A lot of things have changed, a lot of things have remained the same, and a lot of things have gotten worse. So, as I said often, history will always be your best teacher. And so if you look back the past maybe 10, 15, 20 years, you look at what we keep doing, and you put it on the scale and see if it's working. And I promise you, you're gonna find out it's not working. So what does that tell you? It don't do us any good to keep discussing it if you're not gonna come with a new way to approach it. So evidently, what worked then is no longer working. So what do? We approach it in a new way. So that's one of the things that we are going to try to accomplish during the series of the system and blacks. Delaware is in the house. Good evening, Delaware. Kelly is in the house. She said it's insanity. I totally agree with you. Yes. So yeah, if you're doing the same thing over and over. Who's that? What's his name? Weinstein or something? Einstein. Yeah, you have to be a nut. Yeah. So we're looking at the criminal justice system tonight. We're looking at R.Kelly's case tonight, and we're also going to talk about 3 black boys in Georgia. 3 black boys that lost their lives this past Monday. It was a situation that I promise you, if you haven't heard the story, when you hear it tonight, you will agree this could have been avoided. The 3 teens that are dead did not have to die. I promise you they did not have to die. And heaven is backing me up. And I'm going to prove that to you in just a minute, that they did not have to die. But before we get into all that, I want to share something with you because I don't know what's going on. Okay, we have a caller coming in already. Let's see. Good evening, caller. You're live on the air. What's your name and what state are you calling from? Hello? Brittany. I want to share a story with you that I came across a little while ago. And I don't know what's going on with black women, but listen to the story. A 25-year-old Cleveland woman has been accused of sending a video attempting to drown her 6-year-old son in a bathtub. She sent the video to the child's cell phone back in August, early August. She was indicted on charges including 2 counts of attempted murder, multiple counts of endangering children, kidnapping, and assault. Ms. Hawkins was arrested on September the 4th, and she was indicted on Friday, September the 13th. Now watch this. Her bond was set at $10,000. She posted bail on September the 12th, and she's now at home. Good evening, caller. You're live on the air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Georgia.
Good evening. Welcome.
I'm going to tell you now, what you talk about, the R.Kelly situation. I feel it needs to go and leave that man alone. If they're going to charge him. If they don't, it's don't. Because these other people in the world that richer than him not being brought up on charges. And would you talk a little bit more about the 3 boys in Georgia? I'm from Southwest Georgia.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I promise you, we're gonna talk.
I don't know anything about it.
You did?
Heard anything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's
I listen to your show. Excuse me, but I listen to your show every. Now your last video about to make me cry when you was talking about you wasn't gonna be back on. I said, oh Lord, if you don't come back on, tell us that YouTube will need to be back on. But
I appreciate you.
But thank the Lord you back on, and God bless you for what you're doing. Please talk about the 3 boys in Georgia, because I didn't know anything about it. And I live in Georgia, Southwest Georgia, matter of fact.
Yeah, I promise you we're going to address that tonight. And I gratefully appreciate your genuine support. I love you big time.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. And you're right. I'm gonna say one thing about this Malia Davis.
Okay.
Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Amen.
If you don't, justice won't be done for that poor girl. This Lord have mercy on her. So
I promise you. I promise you. And I made a promise to Malia that I would seek the truth and justice. And even when those that tortured her life and had a hand in her death, I will see all of them in the courtroom, whether they believe that or not.
Thank you. And have a blessed night. And I'll be listening now.
Okay, I promise you we're going to talk about it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Right, bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. I'm never going to give up on the Malia Davis case. Let me say this here. Even when we thought we were not going to be able to come back on air, we were still going to be behind the scenes fighting for Malia Davis. But when we get calls like that, it lets me know that I'm still doing what I need to be doing. Good evening, caller. You're live on the air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Hello, Mr. Scott. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you this evening?
I'm good. This is Bristol. My husband and I are watching your show. We love you.
Amen, Bristol. I thank you and your husband so much for watching tonight's show. I'm glad you all are tuning in this evening.
Well, I want to say something about the justice system.
Yes, ma'am.
It's never going to work unless we have enough voices and persistence to make it work. People, and you don't have an independent board investigating any cops, police officers, anybody else. They use internal affairs. Do you think it's going to be just internal affairs investigating their own people?
Never.
So unless we be a voice and everybody, sometimes things happen to people with the police and they don't want to turn in because they get taunted or they get scared. You have to talk. If you keep your mouth shut, nothing is going to work. So it's the same thing with Brittany. It's just not enough people talking or doing something to make it work.
That's
where
it.
she can get her big fat ass locked up.
I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. Yeah, we need more voices speaking out on this. But I will say this: we asked, I think last week, for viewers to start writing the Houston Police Department, their leaders, local and state, and to voice their concern about this case, and to make sure that the truth comes out and justice is served for Malia Davis. This is a 4-year-old girl, and every time I think about it, I'm like, she should be at home playing, doing whatever. Instead, she's in the ground. And when people get upset about people speaking out about that and saying that they're lying, they know the people that's speaking out is not lying. Here's what they know: the truth is coming out. Either that person is on the money or they're right there at it. So you don't address people when they're lying, when they're just sitting there talking. Me, I'm like, you don't know what the hell they're talking about, and go on, leave it alone. But whenever you're hitting home base, you're gonna hear that squeal.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are still working on the Malia Davis case, and I'll be doing that. And even after justice is served, I'll still go everywhere and speak about Malia Lynn Davis.
Yeah.
I will.
I mean, people just need to just keep going. Just don't never let it die. Like you said, even after justice is served, keep going, because we have to keep going for the Malia's that was before her and Malia's to come. Because if we stop, guess what? It's gonna happen all over again.
Exactly, and that's one of the cases I'm bringing up tonight, and it ties into this. And it's, I mean, I say it all the time. I believe God, Malia became God's vessel, and it's now bigger than Malia. God is asking all of us to pay attention to every child in the neighborhood, whether they're kin to you or not. We must pay attention. And when you see something that's wrong, report it. Even if what you think is happening turns out to be not true, I would applaud you and shake your hand for still making that call, because what if it had been true and you didn't want to get involved?
We must get involved.
Yes, ma'am.
If we don't get involved, there's nothing just gonna be done. Even with law enforcement, and you got a lot of cover-ups going on and a lot of unnatural things that's hindering things, that's a problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And that can be a major problem right there. But I am a firm believer that truth is always more powerful than the powers that be. Because truth only comes to do one thing: reveal, expose the lie.
That's right. Absolutely.
I thank you so much for calling in this evening. I hope you and your husband watch the entire show tonight. And
we will.
Okay, and we are trying to make a difference, in getting things better, not for Black people, things better for all people. But you're right, everyone must give that voice.
That's right.
Okay. I thank you. And
especially you pay their paychecks and you don't want to give a voice, that's a problem for me.
Exactly. I totally agree.
It's just like buying something you don't want. You can bring it back. So you got leaders in office that's not listening to you. It's voting time. Don't vote.
That's it. And you're right. It's an election season. So this is the perfect time to bag them up into a corner that they cannot come out of. But if they don't speak out, if they don't try to make things right, just remember them when you go vote.
Yeah, well, I was just asking you, but you didn't do. So far, you haven't done anything, so I'm just not gonna vote for you. Just be upfront with it. That's the only way you can get things done.
Yes, ma'am.
If you say, "Well, I'll do it," but let me see what you're gonna do starting today. Don't tell me that today, and then after the election season is over, you don't want to talk to me. Let's see what you're gonna do today. Make a difference today. Exactly.
I totally agree with that.
So, you have a good night, Mr. Scott. We're gonna enjoy the show. And we'll talk another time.
Yes, and again, I thank you and your husband for watching and supporting the show. We love you big time.
We go back to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
This is Peggy Holland, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
Good evening, Miss Hollins. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for not giving up on the cases that you're working on, and thank you for not leaving us. And that I love you, and I appreciate you for what you're doing for all of these cases.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do, and I'm never gonna give up. I'll only stop when they lay me in that casket. That's when I'll stop. But until
And
then,
I believe that.
yeah,
I absolutely believe that.
yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. I just wanted to pop in and say hello and tell you that I really appreciate you and how much that we love you and glad to see you back.
I thank you so much, and I love you big time. I promise.
All right.
Thanks for supporting us. Bye bye. Okay. Miss Hawkins was arrested September the 4th. There's another call. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm calling from Texas.
Good evening. Welcome.
Hey, thank you very much. I just want to let you know that I do enjoy your content. And as far as the R.Kelly case goes,
Yes, sir.
I don't see how a judge can deny somebody bail off of some allegations. That's what really gets me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
This man hasn't been ever convicted of anything. He's been going to all of his court dates, and the judge denied him bail based on some stories that people are telling. And that's crazy to me, you know. And there's a lot of shady things going on with the R.Kelly case.
Mm-hmm.
With the Gloria Allred, when she sat up there with those people,
Exactly.
Pennsylvania, wherever they were from, and they said, "We want to send this to New York." Okay, but why you got to send it to New York? Do you know somebody in New York that's going to help you move this along?
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at things when things don't make sense. People need to say, "Hey, that don't make no sense," instead of just going along with it.
You know what? I'm glad you called because a little before airtime, me and Miss Jade was working on tonight's story. And of course, Kelly was at the top of the list there. And I've been saying from day one, I don't understand why the guy in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wherever he was, felt that he had to go to New York to turn in a VHS tape. That didn't make any earthly sense to me, but then later on it did. It's a crooked system. We watched R.Kelly enter into a courtroom in red, a red jumper, shackles. Innocent or guilty, my heart goes out to him still. I hate to see someone like that go down, even if they're guilty. But if he's guilty, then he must what? He must pay the price, right? But all we're asking when it comes to R.Kelly, Spitting Fire, Spice, and the others, all we're asking is one thing when it comes to R.Kelly: due process of the law. And right now, you just said it, that's not happening. The bond issue, they have no legal grounds to deny R.Kelly a bail. I'm gonna say it again. They have no legal grounds to deny R.Kelly a bail. His attorney, Greenberg, even said that in the courtroom. You going off what you think R.Kelly might do, don't work in the criminal court system. Now, you can't say that R.Kelly, he's a threat. He's going to pay people off. One thing we got to realize is here. In 2000, I think R.Kelly probably was worth maybe $250 million, megabucks. Now, if he paid people off, I honestly don't believe that he will put the money in their hands. The people that work for R.Kelly, they go and they take care of that. So my point is this: even if he's locked up and they want to reach out and touch somebody and pay somebody, they can still do it. So the argument they're giving It's like giving a whale a Tic Tac. It's bullshit, and that's going to happen. I mean, this has become personal with the attorney you spoke on, Gloria, and with this Me Too movement that came out. We thought it was good for a minute, but now it's big. It is extremely big, very powerful, and now with or without evidence, certain men are being targeted. Some are guilty, and then some are not. But we would rather have a conviction than really finding out what really happened, if anything at all happened. And R.Kelly is not getting due process. He's not.
Right, you're right. Even the Minnesota case makes no sense.
It doesn't.
I mean, somebody said you try to pay $200 to dance. I mean, come on.
Well, here's what I said about the dancing now. Yeah, here's what I said about the girl said R.Kelly paid her $200 to dance, I think dance naked. Well, I don't give a damn if she's 12 years old. She's just fucking super stupid. Because if R.Kelly gave you $200 to get buck naked, you need to go see a psychiatrist. Because you're crazy. You're just crazy. You got buck naked for $200, makes no earthly goddamn sense. For R.Kelly, don't make any sense. None at all. None at all. You know. And so now we're trying to fabricate. Yes, we thank you for calling and enjoy your, sir. Okay, I thank you so much for calling in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight's show.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Okay, the lady in Cleveland, she's 25 years old. See if we can end it. I'm gonna hold off on calls till I can finish this right quick, y'all. Cleveland police investigated the incident after the child's aunt saw the video of her attempting to drown the baby on her son's cell phone. According to the police report on August 28th, the father received the video, which showed Watkins holding the child by the neck underwater in the bathtub, with the child kicking and splashing water in an attempt to escape death. I don't think she should have been given a fucking bond. I really don't. I don't think she should have been given a bond. But you can find out more about this case on our Injustice Investigations Facebook page. And we have a list of all the charges that she's facing. And it also goes more in depth to that story. Even it was a $10,000 bond. And she probably made it with, I mean, like it wasn't nothing. Cases like that, I don't think she should have had a bond. That's why I keep saying with the Malia Davis case, it's no longer just about Malia Davis. It's not. God is trying to tell us, I need you to pay attention, because there are some signs that was there. But if you don't know the signs to look for when they're in your face, you will miss them. And so God, in his own way, is trying to tell us something. And we should all, well, this is my thing. My child is your child is my child. It's as simple as that. These cases of women, black and white, are coming back to back now. It's like an epidemic. It's a domino effect. Boom, 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 boom. So we have to get involved. You have to make the neighbors mad. You have to piss off the schools. You have to get the police officer to come out and investigate and see if something is going on in this home with this child that should be going on, rather than sit there and say, I'm not going to get involved because they're going to get mad. That's what they get paid for, to investigate. That's what they do. But we also expect for when we call CPS, when they go out there, to us, CPS is going to be the child's lifeline. But if CPS is not protecting the children, then they still are in the wrong hands. They're still in the hands of death. If they're falsifying documents, if they're pulling children out of homes that shouldn't be pulled out just for a fucking scratch, and others you let walk free. This woman held the child up under the water by the neck. And if you can just visualize the child wiggling, just I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. But you give her a $10,000 bail, don't make any earthly goddamn sense. She didn't need a bail. You may not agree with everything I said, but I promise you, you feel me just the same. She did not need a bail. I'm going to go to the incident in Georgia. Some of you may have heard it, some may not. Three black boys, teenagers, 4 a.m. in the morning, teenagers, 4 a.m. in the morning, out with guns, looking for a lick, a crime of opportunity, a come up, tries to commit a robbery or home invasion, and the homeowner pulls up. There are already people outside the home. One teenager fires a shot. Be mindful. They all have on a mask. It's 3 of them. I don't know what a child, because they're children, is doing. Well, maybe I do now. Shouldn't be out, put it that way, at 4 a.m. in the morning. I would think they would be in bed somewhere if they didn't have a job getting ready for school. But they didn't. It's what happens. Brian Jenkins, who is a neighbor of the homeowner who shot the young men, he said, I keep thinking about what I saw when I looked out of my bedroom window after hearing dozens of shots ring out at about 4 a.m. A teenager flapping on his lawn, clutching a wound to his chest and repeating 2 words, I'm dying. I'm dying. He died in the man's yard. Now, one of the teens used a handgun to fire shots in an attempt to rob the victims before the homeowner responded with shots. He shot each one of them. One died on the scene. The other 2 later died at a hospital. Now, at least I think 25 states have the stand your ground law. Me and Ms. Jade was talking about it earlier. And it kind of varies from state to state, but it is by far a very, very tricky law. It's kind of hard to prove sometimes. The homeowner in Georgia has not been arrested. But the incident comes at a time when there is still a national debate over the stand your ground law, which was fueled by one of the high profile cases in 2012 by the death of Trayvon Martin, who was killed by George Zimmerman. That would pave way for the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, Georgia, with the stand your ground law, allows people to take deadly action when they have reasonable belief it is necessary to protect themselves or others from death or serious injury, or to prevent a felony that involved the use of a threat or physical force. The state stand your ground law provides even more protection for people who use self-defense. The law states you do not have to run up into somebody's house for the stand your ground law to apply to the homeowner. Now, it's not a racist thing. It's nothing personal. You can't play the black card on this one because the homeowner was black. Tanya Collins said they should have been asleep. Amen. Spitting Fire's in the house. What you say? Good evening, Spitting Fire. Thank you. Now, y'all, you might not agree with me on this, but you're going to feel me just the same. First of all, my condolences to the family of these 3 young men. But let me say this. Again, the homeowner has not been arrested, and I don't believe he's going to be arrested. And I don't believe he should be arrested. Let me tell you something. We have to stop upholding our own in wrongdoing. There is no justification for absolute wrong. There's none. There's none. They're dead because maybe financial situations or whatever caused them to go out and try to do this. And 9 times out of 10, they probably have done it before, but we'll never know. It's up to you how you address any situation in life. It's up to you. That's up to you. But here's what's not going to always be up to you. The consequences that you must face because of your actions. Everything that you do today will affect you and the ones you claim to love the rest of your lives. I have no pity for those 3 boys that got shot. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You cannot raise hell when they're out with masks on and guns. You can't get mad. You can't play the race card in this one. Good evening, Sandy B. You can't play the race card. It happened. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. They should have been home sleeping, as a young lady just said. I have no pity for them. I don't. Do I think the homeowner is going to go to jail? Absolutely, positively, unquestionable. No, he's not. He didn't do anything wrong. The stand your ground law is in his favor. Because you come up in mines with some goddamn masks on. I don't give a damn if the law said you don't have to come in, but whatever. When I see you, I'm taking your ass out. You got to go. I have to protect me and mine. I have to. Good evening. Thanks for calling. You're live on the air. Caller, what's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
My name is Quinn. I'm calling from Dallas.
Hey, Quinn. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Excellent, marvelous, superb, splendid, wonderful.
That's good. I love the show. I watch all the time. I got in another time before talking about Malia. So I just wanted to chime in on what you were talking about now about the 3 boys that got shot.
Yes, ma'am.
And killed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love you to death, but I'm going to agree with you slightly on some things because I feel like this circumstance around to the key point that you made earlier about how our criminal system is against blacks. This is the same circumstance where these boys, young men, you know how much pressure it is to be a black man and to provide, especially when you don't grow up with a father and you have a single mom. It's like you want to go out and get some money. Now, I'm not justifying it, but a lot of black men feel like committing crime, stealing, that kind of thing is something that they should do in order to provide because it's an option for them. When in other situations, for other races, that's never an option for them. They always have support. They always have their family, mother and dad, even if they're divorced, they still provide. And it's a difference in circumstances that rise back from slavery. It's like when you freed the slaves, you made it illegal for them to read and write. You create Jim Crow. You create segregation. You create all this stuff to hinder them. You know what I'm saying? And then you come out with these presidents that have these 3-strike rules where you get all this time for these little crimes. People have, small bags of weed and they get 30 years and things like that. It all ties back together. That's my point. And I just wanted to bring light to that. It's the same thing with the criminal system. These same circumstances have been put in place by certain people of power.
Okay, listen.
They have created this situation.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Listen, number one, I'm not going to disagree with anything you just said, simply because you're right. You're 1,000,000% right. Now, here's the thing, and you said something that made me think about something I should have said in the beginning. From what we have now, if it is the way we know it is now, then I still believe the same. Unless something comes up different, then we'll look at it in a different light. And you are right. Slavery, we were never really set free because they came up and implemented other ways to get us to still be under their umbrella, so to say. You spoke about the Jim Crow law, which made me think about the Willie Lynch speech, and I'm sure you have read that. Now, and it is a setup. Once you have gotten yourself into the system, sometimes it's hard to come out of the system, even when you make parole in prison and you get released. But here's what happened: that if you're trying to get a job, one thing I know you're gonna look for: have you ever been convicted of a felony? I think that should be removed, because depending upon what job you're applying for, what you went to prison for don't have a damn thing to do with that. And sometimes you might have been innocent, caught up in it. So you made a lot of good points. But my thing is this: is that at their ages, we know the system is against them from birth. You just said it, but at their ages, we cannot lose focus that they should have been at home. If not sleep, they should have been at home. So sometimes Kevin Hart said in one of his stand-ups, talking about a guy was fighting and he asked him to help him and he didn't. And so, Kevin Hart makes a joke about it. And so the guy got mad. Why you didn't help him? He said, "Now, why would I just walk right up into that ass whooping? That's stupid." And it makes a lot of sense. I feel for the family. I do. I really do. But I don't feel any pain for those 3 young men, because they're children. They still had a future if they had done the right thing. So this is what we know about. Just imagine things that they probably have done, maybe just like this or worse, that we will never, ever know about. And so that's the way I'm looking at it. But again, you hit the nail on the head. I agree with everything that you said. The system does make it hard for Black men to survive, and it's got this one guy: I can't find a job. And I understand that. If it's hard for someone who's never been convicted of a crime to find a job, I know it's extremely hard for those that have been convicted of crimes. But here's what needs to be done. If you know the system is against you, and we know that, here's what you do. You can sit here and talk about how wrong it is all night long. And like when I open up, we're going to look at it from a different perspective the next 2 weeks. Now, the system is against me. I've been to prison. I can't find a job. Or if I find a job that I'm good at, I'm skilled in it, I got a certificate in that, I can't get it because I'm Black and I have a conviction over my head. Here's what you do. You open your own damn door. Create your own magic. Whatever you're good at, you do that. You create your own damn magic. And as James Brown will say, I don't need nobody to open the damn door for me. I can do that myself. So, but I'm not disagreeing, because, again, for the umpteenth time, you're on the money. But from the way I'm looking at it, and position determines perspective. What you see depends upon where you're standing. I just think when I said I'm gonna prove to you that they didn't have to die, here's my proof. If they had been home, they would be alive tonight.
That's true. I agree. The kids should have definitely been at home. There's no reason you should have been out there 4 a.m. I agree. But like I said, it's just those circumstances. Sometimes kids don't have choices. They don't even have a mom at home to tell them to go to bed.
Exactly.
And this goes back to parenting too. With the Black community, the parenting is not where it needs to be at all. We got to get back in the household and get control of these kids and stop letting them just make decisions on their own, because they're children and they don't have enough maturity to make those right decisions is to understand that's not the only choice I have. Sometimes as kids, they're not thinking, and that's where the parent comes in. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to parent your children.
Well, when you say that there are choices, you're right. But you also said something that was on point. I need somebody to tell me that there are choices.
Right.
Here's the thing. A lot of blacks, we've seen too much, too soon, and want too much, too fast. I gotta be one up. I gotta wear this. I gotta wear that. And so I can't get it because I don't have a job. I don't have the right job. So I'm finna interrupt your home and your happiness. You don't work for whatever's up in there, and I'm gonna take your shit. But that's not how it works. So you're right. Somebody must step up and say, look, there are other choices. Sometimes you got to look. Sometimes suffering can be good because you can learn from that. But if somebody's always giving you something, you think that's the way it should be until you die. And when they don't, then you take it. But yeah, we do need more men that's got themselves together to catch those that's been positioned wrong and reposition them, And but we give a big shout out to all the single mothers because some of them have been doing an excellent job. And sometimes when the kid go left, it don't mean the parent failed. When we reach a certain age, we said, I got to do what I got to do. This is me. And so it's not any bearing on the family that they do on this. It's what, they're of age. They can do what they want to do. Everything that I do great, good, wonderful today, I give my mom credit for that. Every other crap that I done messed up with, that's just me. It has nothing to do with mom, but maybe this will wake some of them up too, that you can't just go. I mean, because you can't interrupt somebody's home. It's a sad case. I promise it's a sad case, but we have to start looking at this from a different perspective. If I want anybody to see me in a different light, then I must first see myself in a different light. Look, I thank you for calling in, and you're very smart. I applaud you for that. You're welcome.
I watch you all the time. I love you to death.
Well,
thank you so much for having me on.
You are welcome. God be the glory, and thank you big time.
All right.
Bye-bye. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Hey, Mr. Scott, this is Valerie Montgomery from Bellflower, California. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you this evening?
I could be better. Got to wear hearing aids. Lost my uncle Sunday morning. I thought I'd seen you on YouTube. Well, I'm all over the place. I said, well, maybe I just got too much going on. So what's they trying to message you again? They're trying to kill the messenger?
Yeah. A lady, I've had so many people write emails to me about what I'm doing, and for the positive, and I'm sensitive. Some of them I cried, but one lady said something this evening. Her name is Karen. She said, and I'm paraphrasing it. She said, "You can talk about anything. Nobody says nothing. They don't disagree. But the minute you say anything about Malia Davis, people get upset. And the only people that get upset are those who are involved in it or just don't want the truth to come out. It's as simple as that. Because if you are talking about, it's like when they call me up, tell me they got a video of this girl talking about you. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I mean, because whatever she's saying, I mean, it doesn't pertain to me. Yeah, her emotions are out of control, because if somebody's saying something about me or my family and I know they lying, I'm not going to keep addressing that damn shit, because I know one thing, he's a goddamn idiot.
Exactly.
But the ratings are going up.
And hey, I see, and I've been telling my family to watch it. I said, this young man, he's on a call. I just want him to be careful when he's, because hey, the police probably mad because they did their job. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering what type of job do her mother have, and is this why they're trying to sweep Brittany Bowen under the rug rather than arresting her? Because I see that she kept calling her mom when her baby's dead, or she her eyes rolling back. Is your mom a nurse? Did she doctor the documents at the hospital? Does she work for CPS? What is really going on in this case to where they can't see the forest for the trees about these damn people that killed this baby?
Exactly, and if I get before the mic or whatever and I just gossip, and I just, just talk, just to be talking, saying something.
The callers are going to call in because we're concerned. We love that little baby. When me and my daughter first seen it, I said, that don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
That does not fit. I said, that woman killed that baby. That's the very day it came on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that happened to kill that baby. And sure enough, I believe with my heart, and my heart don't usually run me. I have never met this woman,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen that baby and been following her. And I said, that baby spirit, I said, yeah, you're right. God did take her on out of her misery. But see, the Bible speaks of these days where mothers are against daughters, fathers are against sons. I mean, it's coming front and center with these babies being attacked like they are. I said, this case here, you're going to solve it. Hey, if they don't solve it, you're going to solve it. So whatever, I'm not on Twitter because I hate Trump, so I don't want to run into him.
All right, gotcha.
You know, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. If you got to sit a phone conferences and everybody call in at the same time so we can hear what you done updated us on.
I gratefully appreciate you on that. And that's it. We're just trying to get the truth out. But
I would think everybody else, which they own, you would target a house and shoot up the folks, and you done got busted some crooked cops. I said, but this here, I don't understand this police chief. I don't understand the district attorney. Why haven't they had Brittany and all concerned take a polygraph? I know they're not at risk going court, but if you're so innocent, take a polygraph. That'll clear up a lot of things, but then she might be just a good liar. She might pass it.
well, the thing about a lie detector test, you're right. It measures emotions, and so you can take sleeping pills or get high before you take it or whatever. Or if you just naturally calm, then you can still pass it. But yeah, this is something that.
No, give her sodium pentothal, because that'll take the truth. That'll bring the truth out under psychiatry.
Exactly.
I can't sleep. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I had harmed my baby. If someone had harmed my baby, I would be in jail. The police wouldn't have to make no arrest because your ass would be dead.
Exactly.
But you're taking pieces of this boy's body trying to cover your story, and y'all just got it more and more mixed up that they're telling on themselves. I ain't seen no camera in her face. She ain't been on no more things since Cornell is the toupee. And some tells me he knew about what happened to that baby, and he shielded that information, and he needs to be held accountable as well.
I totally agree with you. I do. I totally agree with you. And it should trouble you, me, and everybody on this live feed tonight when people are trying to protect and support a killer. That should trouble us all. As simple as that, the truth must be told. But if you don't want it to come out, then,
And but sometimes, like you, Scott, I believe you're a brand man, and they could try to shelter it. And there's got to be a lot of people that can do it. Sometimes it only takes that one to keep hammering until they get to it and make them see what everybody else is seeing except for them.
That's it. And I'm going to do that day in and day out.
Okay.
Every time I think about
prayer, and every chance I get in front of the TV, come on my phone, I'll be like, I gotta go downstairs, I can get a signal so I can watch it.
I thank you so.
They got too wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, he's telling the truth, and people can't stand it, and they make it fake pages. Want to have them shut down. I said, but when God got something for you to do, come hell and high water, he's gonna make a way for you to do it.
That's it. Truth to a lie, it's just like light to darkness. It's as simple as that. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but God up in heaven knows it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And if others stop talking about it, I'm going to keep talking. They asked me one time, everybody else is dying down talking about it. Why are you still talking about it? Well, I'm on a mission. They wasn't. They was just discussing it. I'm on a mission.
And like I was telling people, I said, you guys go there. Hey, like I say that because I don't watch too many YouTube
Yes, ma'am.
I told my daughter I needed to make a video about this damn Trump and why these Republicans is letting his ass create wars, tax wars, terror wars. He ain't never wanted to go to the army with his bone spare ass. So any kind of war he can try to get into, he's just a big pussy, and they need to get rid of that. I said, so him, he's a whole nother story. I ain't even wasting time on that person.
I like.
I'm fans for you, your stations, and I'm going to continue to follow.
I thank you so much and enjoy your evening. Thanks for calling in.
You too, Mr. Scott.
Bye. Okay. Oh God, we're about out of time. So we didn't get to R.Kelly. We didn't get to the system in blacks. Let me catch this last call. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from? You see. Sir, hello. Okay, Mr. Malcolm, I can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry about this.
No, you're fine. Just
My thing is, okay, I want to pick up on what y'all was saying about the little baby Malia.
yes,
I
sir.
feel like it's pretty rough in this stuff, man. And, you got ties up, Me Too movement. They want to chase out and give them a docu-series of these women that's overgrown, and they got these little innocent girls that were murdered cold blooded for no apparent reason. And they would know nobody want to touch them dead or give life to dead. I'm so appreciate that you're doing that. Nobody else don't want to do it, but they mean they want to give these victims this whole time about R.Kelly. These women are grown, and they were sitting enough old enough to get out of this situation they was in. This little girl didn't have nobody. She didn't have it, but they won't give her no time. But they hypocrites, man. Time's up and all this Me Too movement, all that. They hypocrites, man, for that. That's all I just want to say, man. I just want to appreciate you for speaking up on that, because you don't have too many people speaking up on that situation.
Brother, I swear I greatly appreciate your comments there, and yeah, we're going to stay on it until the truth comes and justice is served.
Yes,
and so it's coming. I promise you that. And you're right. Nobody protected Malia Lynn Davis. She's gone without a reason. She's gone without a reason.
Yeah, right. Time's up, and all those guys, they should be down at Houston. Don't have a shit stone party down there, tear up stuff, but they want to sit there and focus on these women. You look at all those women that was in the R.Kelly situation. They were blind. You can just go through it, all of it. They all that was a big hole. And I don't understand why people so focused on dead when you got an innocent little girl that was brutally murdered for no reason. I just people need to get together, man. As a whole, as a human beings and African everybody, we just fell. Just really fell.
You're right. You're on the money there. Oftentimes I think we exert energy where no energy is needed. And you know what? Before we go, we publicly invited Brittany Bowens to come on the show. We did it probably for about a week or two, and she didn't. I think someone emailed or text and said something about she wanted a question sent in or something like that. So I don't know if that was true or not. Could have been somebody just bullshitting, But either or, we're not going to send out any questions in advance so you can strategize. It's not going to happen that way with me. But we do need to be raising hell about why their 4-year-old girl dead and nobody has been charged with her murder. If you look at Darion Fence did not kill Malia. He did. Now, 3 times he hadn't showed up in court. They keep putting it off. What that tells me is that they have something close to nothing on Darion Fence. It's as simple as that. And he has some wrong in this, brother. But one charge may fit him, but the other one, it don't fit him. So the same with R.Kelly. We're just asking for due process of the law. We would, If anybody in Bowen's, anybody in Bowen's family or Davis family, if you want to come on, I would welcome you all to come on the show. I promise you, heaven backing me up, I will shut my mouth and I will be quiet. I will let you speak. But when you stop, all I ask is you be quiet and you listen to me. And if I've been wrong about some things and you can convince me, I'm man enough to publicly apologize right on the damn spot. But if you say I'm 1,000,000% wrong with everything, okay, then let's talk about it. We can do it on air or we could do it off air. Prove me wrong instead of bashing me or attacking my character because you can't deal with the truth. So another open invitation. Anybody wants to come on, but if you decide to come, and if you're disrespectful, cut that mic off in your ass. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. I'll listen to you, and I expect for you to listen to me. We all should be wanting the same thing: truth and justice. They don't want Brittany Bowens locked up, but they want Darion Vince to take the rap for something that he didn't do. What in the hell they do that at? Where? Exactly. Brother, I thank you so much for calling in, and I thank you big time for supporting the show.
Okay, no problem, bro. You have a good one.
And you too. Thank you. Okay, we are out of time. Look, I apologize. We didn't get to a lot of the stories we wanted to discuss this evening, but all in all, I think we got some work done tonight. As always, I thank you all for supporting the show. Miss Jade, Miss Ferris, love you big time. Spitting Fire is still here. Hopefully, Spitting Fire will agree to come on here within the next couple of days, because I want you to hear Spitting Fire talk about the R.Kelly case. She's coming. Hot Topic Spices is coming. We just got to set a date. And these are some very strong Black women. And I think it's important to listen to women that's speaking out on R. Kelly's behalf, because women are accusing him of some things. So you hear a lot from the men, but wouldn't you want to hear it from a woman? Spitting Fire, SP News, Spice, and a lot of them, I have nothing but great respect for y'all. Y'all are doing a wonderful job. And so hopefully they will come on and you can hear their perspective of it. Look, we got to go. I love you all big time. Thanks for watching tonight's show. I thank you for your genuine support. Even when it's over, if you like what you heard tonight, there's a little thing up there goes up like that. I think it's a like button. Hit it. Be it the Lord willing, creek don't rise. We will be back. Remember this: I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. We'll see you on the radio. Y'all have a good evening. Okay.